Okay, welcome back. Hi Hasik. Yeah, we're doing lesson 9 today, right, of our year-end revision. Okay, so same thing. Let me give you a little bit of an introduction, right, before we start the lesson. Okay, we are a Math Specialist Center located at Parkway. Right, we help students with borderline grades turn around the results within a short period of time. Right, so we have many students coming to us with telling us that they're struggling with problem sums, right? And after a period of time, they're given the skill sets that we give them, right? And they manage to improve, right? So here is some success stories of our P6 students this year, right? They've gone for the PSL already. This is during their prelims, right? So they range from 1 grade to even 3 grades jump, right? So quite impressive for some of them, right? So same thing, they came into our center not knowing a lot of model strategies and concepts, right? Really struggling with the foundations of learning what kind of strategies and how to identify keywords in questions, right? And apply them, right? So like I mentioned before, you can learn many strategies and models and concepts, but if you're not able to identify the keywords in a question, right, and identify what type of question it is, you're not able to apply what you actually know, right? So it's really a waste if you know the type of models and strategies, but you cannot apply it in the question. Right, so what we do here at the center, we help you, right, with identifying what type of questions they are, right? You know, some questions, they are similar, right, although they might put a little bit of a twist in the question, right, depending on how tricky the school wants it to be, right, the exam paper. Okay, so this could be you, right? If you are struggling in problem sums, okay, don't be afraid to come to us for help, right? You should start early, especially if you're primary 5 and next year you'll be going for PSLE, right? So start early. Okay, so just a heads up, if you are not familiar, right, we do have a P4 year-end revision. So if you have siblings who are primary 4, okay, you can go for this, right? It's on Monday, and the next lesson, which is lesson 6, will be on the 19th October, this coming Monday. It will be taught by Mr. Siu, right? So the topic will be on trending SA2 problem sum. So you can let your siblings know if they want to join this as well, right? It's the same format as the primary 5 one. Okay, so objectives of this zone lesson, right, is to help students who are struggling with problem sums, right, as mentioned, improve the understanding and confidence, right, when they tackle problem sums, because problem sums can be solved systematically, right? Math is all about steps, right? As long as you know which step comes first, right, is systematic and you'll be able to solve for the answer in just a few steps, right? 3 or 4 steps will be fine. Okay, prepare for SA2 and PSLE next year. Okay, so your SA2 is coming really soon already. So I'm sure some of you are sensing the sense of urgency already. Okay, so this is to prepare you for it. Okay, so what's the lesson outline? Right, we will have 3 level 1 questions, 3 level 2 questions, and also 2 higher order thinking questions. Okay, so a lot of you are asking, do we have replace? Yes, we do have, right? We will email it to you, right, the link. However, if you are still unsure, right, I can give you the link to this right now. Okay, I'll send it in the chat so you can copy it and maybe bookmark it in your browser. Okay, give me a moment now. Okay, so it's in the chat now. You can save it. send it again if you haven't seen it. Right, we also have a YouTube channel, so if you are more familiar with navigating the YouTube channel, then you can use this as well. Right, I'll send it in the link in the chat as well. Okay, so you can subscribe, hit the notification bell, right, and you can be notified if we have any uploads with the replay. Okay, right, so before I start, right, to mention that we do have October programs for you, right before your SA2, we have a boot camp coming up starting next Monday, right? So if you want to sign up, you can still sign up, right? So I'll send the link to the chat as well. Okay, so once you click into the link, right, you'll be prompted with 3 options. Okay, so your siblings, you have primary 4 and primary 3 as well. Okay, you click into it, right? You can select the camp and you can sign up at the bottom here, right? So SA2 coming ready. So if you really need that final boost, right, we have this program for you. So you can come down, or we have online or live lessons depending on what you want, right? So you can contact us and sign up for it. Okay. So with that, right, some ground rules. Okay, audio is muted, so communication is through the chat. Right, please participate, answer questions, or ask questions when you're in doubt. Right, don't spam the chat. Please be considerate and listen attentively. Write down the solutions and also have fun. Right. Okay. So let's start. Okay, if you have the worksheet with you. Okay, so today is on average. Okay, so what is average, right? How to find average? It is the total divided by the quantity, right? And how do you find total? It will be the average times the quantity, right? So that's the basis of what average is. So over here, you have a box that you can write down whatever you learned during the lesson, right? In case you are afraid you'll forget, you can note it down here. Okay, so for example, what is quantity, right? Okay, give me a moment. Okay, so quantity. Okay. Okay, anyone can tell me what's quantity? Amount. Amount of what? Is the number of? Okay, it can be items, right? Or it can also be people, depending on the question, right? So that's quantity. Okay, so that's an example of what you can write down. Okay, so along the way, if you feel that you have learned something new, right, you can write it down here in the first page. So when you are revising, you can look at it again, right? Okay, so let's look at the first question. Okay, the table below shows the number of books borrowed from a library in 5 days. Number of books in 5 days, right? So there's a table here given for you. What is the average number of books borrowed in a day? Okay, so they want the average. Average of the 5 days. So looking at your notes here, average is the total over quantity. Okay, I'll put QTY as a short form, quantity. So what is the total here? Right, total. Every day you have 54 here for Monday. Tuesday is 43, Wednesday 48, 50 Thursday, and 45 Friday. So to find the total number of books borrowed, we need to add everything up here. So the total of the 5 days. Okay, anyone added it already? $240. Okay. Yes, you can use calculator. Right, so we have the total here. How about the quantity? Right, so quantity earlier on we said that is the number of items or people. Right, in this case, what is it? It's the number of days. Right, so you can add it in your notes as well. Right, quantity is about the days. Right, how many days do you have? You have 5. Right, so your quantity here is 5. So now that you have both of the numbers, we can find the average. So it will be 240 divided by 5. Okay, 48, thank you. Right, so that will be your average of the 5 days. Take the total divided by the number of days. Okay. Right, so this is the basic concept of it. Right, what is average? Okay, let's go to question 2. Okay, so I'll leave question 1 here if you're still copying. Okay, so Tom and Jerry scored an average of 72 marks for their test. Okay, average 72. If Tom scored 4 marks more than Jerry, okay, Tom, 4 marks more than Jerry. Okay, remember to underline and highlight the keywords along the way. Right, how many marks did Tom score? Okay, so Tom has 4 marks more than Jerry, so let's represent it in the model first. Tom, Jerry. Tom has 4 more, right? So he has a longer model compared to Jerry. Okay, by how much? By 4 marks more. Okay, so how to finish up this model? We need to write down their total score. Can I put 72 here? Yes or no? Okay, you can type in the chat. Yes or no? Is 72 correct if I write it here? Okay, no. Everyone say no. Okay, good. Okay, no, wrong. Why? Because 72 is the average. they didn't tell us that 72 is the total, right? It's the average. So we need to find the total here. Total of the two people. Tom and Jerry. Okay, so how to find total? Average times quantity. So what is the average? Given in the question, 72. Okay, what is the quantity in this case? Right, it's the number of people in this case, right? You have 2 people. So times 2. Okay, thank you. 144. So you can fill it into your model here, 144. Right, so our model is kind of complete already, right? We can look for what? The equal units here. Okay, why do we want to look for this? Because we are looking for how many marks did Tom score, which is this unit here plus 4. So we need to find this unit first. Okay, these 2 equal units, we can find it if we take away the extra 4 here. Right, away from the total. And we'll be left with the 2 units here. Okay, so 2 units equals to the total 144 minus away the extra 4 marks here. Okay, so you have 140 for 2 units, right? Let's find 1 unit. Divide by 2. 70, okay. So what's next? We want Tom. Tom is 1 unit plus 4. Right, and we found 1 unit already, so let's write it in 70 plus 4. So Tom's got 74 in total. Right, so usually average question, you draw model, it will help you a lot better, right? Because you are always dealing with either total or average. So when you draw the model out, right, you'll be prompted to draw the total part here as well, right? Then you'll be able to link to the information given here, which is the average. Okay, so once you're done, let's go to the next page, question 3. Okay, question 3. So Tom, Eric, and Jerry scored an average of 72 marks for their test. Okay, so take note of what this 72 marks is. It's an average of how many people? 3 people. If Tom scored 2 fewer marks than Jerry, okay, Tom, 2 fewer marks than Jerry, and 5 more marks than Eric. Right, so this N here, right, is still referring to Tom. Right, Tom scored two fewer marks than Jerry and 5 more marks than Eric. Right, so if you're afraid that you'll be confused, right, you can write here Tom again. Right, so you won't be confused. Right, who has 5 more marks than Eric? Okay, it's still Tom. Okay, so let's draw the model. Okay, you have Tom, who's got 2 fewer than Jerry. So his model will be shorter than Jerry by 2. Okay, and Tom is also 5 more marks than Eric. Right, so now we need to draw Eric. Okay, draw it on top of Tom because we want to compare him and Tom. So 5 more marks than Eric. That means Eric is lesser than Tom. Okay, by how much? By 5. So this is 5 here. And you can bring down the 5 here as well. Right, so this is how the model will look like. Okay, and now we need to complete the model by labeling what is the total here. Right, so same as question 2, we are given an average. Right, so you cannot put 72 here. This is average, not total. Right, the average of 3 people is 72. Okay, given here. So how do we label total here with 3 people? Okay, we need to find the total of the 3. Right, so let's look at this. Total is the average times quantity. In this case, our quantity is the number of people. So you have 3 people in total. Take your average times the 3 people. Okay, thank you. 216. So that's our total. Okay, we can label it here. Right, and what's next? Okay, remember, go back to the question. They're asking us for how many marks did Tom score? Right, they're asking us for Tom here. And Tom is made up of 1 unit here and 5. All of these 3 units here are equal. Okay, so we need to work our way towards 1 unit, add that 5 in, and we can get Tom. Right, so what are the extra numbers that we have to take away from the total here? We have 5. Here's an extra. This 5 and 2 are also extra. So take it away. Right, what's the total extra that we need to take away? 5 plus 5 plus 2. Right, so 12. Okay, now we can take it away. So once you take it away, we are left with 3 units. So take your total minus the extra 12 here. Okay, and then you go and find 1 unit, right? Divide by 3. Once you have 1 unit, find Tom. Okay, so without my help, can you try? Okay, I'll launch a poll here. Right, so once you're done, select your answer. Your answer not there means it's wrong already. You need to go and check your working again. Remember, after finding 1 unit, you need to find Tom's score, right? 1 unit is not your final answer. It can be if they're asking for someone else, not Tom. Okay, give you a few more seconds, right? Select your answer. Okay. Okay, if you want to select your answer now, quickly select it. I'm going to end the poll already. Okay, let's check. Right, so what did most of you select? Right, you selected 73. Okay, let's check whether that's the answer. Right, so 3 units will be 204. You divide it by 3, you have 68. Okay, so I see that some of you selected 68 as your answer, which is not correct because 68 is just 1 unit. If you look at your model, Tom has 1 unit plus 5, right? So you have to add in that 5 to get Tom. So your final step here, you have to add the 5 in, and you will have 73 as your answer, right? So if you didn't write this step in, can you do the amendments? Right, so 73 is the answer. Okay, right, let's go to page 4 when you're done. Right. Okay, so read the question. The average height of Jane, May, and Lucy is 1 meter 45 cm. Is this total? No, this is the average height. Okay, you have to use a bit of logic also, right? How can their total height be 1 meter 45 cm? Right, 3 people. Okay, so Jane is 18 cm taller than me. Lucy is 12 cm shorter than Jane. What is Lucy's height? Okay, so I'll give you a few seconds. Can you try and draw the model first before I show it to you? Okay, so try and draw the model of Jane, May, and Lucy using the information given before I show you mine. Okay, some of you are done. Okay. So let's start with Jane being 18 cm taller than me. Right, so you have Jane and you have me. Jane is 18 cm taller. Taller means the model should be longer by 18. So this is me. Right, so if you're done with your model, right, you will cross-check with mine, see whether it's the same. Right, and Lucy is 12 cm shorter than Jane, right? In this case, it's shorter. So now we are comparing Lucy and Jane. So let's draw Lucy at the top here, right, comparing to Jane. 12 cm shorter. So 12 here. Right, so how else can we make the model look more complete? Right, this 18 here, there's a 12 here. And what can I do? I can dissect this part here. Right, because I would want these parts here to be equal units, right, for us to carry on with the question. Right, so you cut it up here. What do you have in this small portion of the model? 18? Okay, thank you, 6. 18 minus 12, so you have 6 here. Okay, because it has to make up to 18 over here. Right, and what is our total? Right, same thing, we need to find the total ourselves using this average given here. Right, so what you notice is that all of these values in the model are all in terms of centimeters. Okay, whereas our average is 1 meter 45 cm. So let's convert it to just cm first. Okay, so what do you have this in cm? Ah, 145, right? 1 meter 100 cm. Okay, so if you don't know this, then your whole answer wrong already. Okay, take note if you're still confused. This is the average. Average of 3 people. 1, 4, 5. Okay, so let's find the total of the 3 people. Average times quantity. In this case, is people, and we have 3 people. So 145 times 3. Okay, thank you. 435. That's our total of the 3 people. Okay, so now we have to find these 3 equal units here by taking away the extra. Right, so what is the extra? Okay, some of you telling me 6 plus 18 is the extra. Okay. Anyone disagrees that it's 6 plus 18? Do I have to add in 12? Is 12 also an extra? No. 12 is just telling us that Lucy is shorter by 12 compared to Jane. Right, but it's not within your model here. This is a shortage that we do not need to take away from the total because it's not part of the total, right? Lucy's model is only up to 6 here, and Jane's model is only up to 18 here, right? And May is just 1 unit. So that 12, you don't have to take it away from the total. It's not part of the total. So it's just 6 plus 18 for your extra. Okay, 24. So take it away from the total. 435 minus away 24. Okay, thank you. 411. That's 3 units. Let's find 1 unit. Divide by 3. Okay, 137. Thank you. Is this my answer? Do I stop here? No. Okay, good. We want Lucy's height. What we found is only May's height, 1 unit, right? But we want Lucy's height. We still need to, yes, correct, add 6. Right, Lucy. 1 unit plus 6. We found 1 unit already. 137 plus 6 here. Okay, thank you. 143. So she is 143 cm tall. Okay, so always don't forget to add in the last step, right? A lot of you always stop at 1 unit here. Okay, then you think that's the answer already, right? No, always go back to the question, right? What are they actually asking you for, right? That 1 unit is not your final answer most of the time, right? And make use of your model to help you find the final answer. Okay. Okay, once you're done, look at question 2. Right, try to draw the model again, right, before I show you my model. Okay, go and highlight and underline the keywords as well. Okay. So the average mass of a melon, papaya, and a cucumber is 620 grams. Is the average. The melon is 300 grams heavier than the papaya. The cucumber is 450 grams less than the papaya. What is the mass of the melon in grams? Don't know how to draw model. Okay, you just try, I'll just try. Right, then when I show you mine, you can amend it, right? So you know where you went wrong. Okay, try and draw the model first. Okay, right, so how will I do the model? Using this part here first. The melon is 300 grams heavier than the papaya. Let's start with that. Okay, melon compared to the papaya. Melon is heavier, right? So if it's heavier means its model will be longer compared to the papaya, right? And then go back to the question, how much heavier? 300 grams. So 300. Right, and then next, the cucumber is 450 grams less than the papaya. So now it's comparing cucumber and papaya. So put the cucumber below here, right? And it's less than the papaya. So you have to draw it smaller. Smaller by how much? 450. Okay, if you write it here, you can bring it up here as well. Okay, such that we are left with the 3 equal units here. Right, and now we need to label our total. Is the total given? No. What is given? Average again. Okay, so using the average, let's find the total. Average of the 3 fruits, right, 620. To find total of the 3. Okay, good. 620 times 3. Because our quantity in this case is the number of items. Melon, papaya, and cucumber. We have 3 of it. So we times 3. 1,000. Okay, thank you. 1,860. Okay, so we can fill it into our model here. Right, so next we need to find what? Very systematic, right? You can refer back to previous questions. What have we been doing after we find total? Find the extra. Correct. Because we need to take it away from the total before we can be left with the 3 units here, right? We don't want the extra here. So we have 450, 450, and 300. Okay, can you add it up for me? What is the extra? Okay, 1,200. Thank you. Okay, now we take it away. Once you take it away, we're left with 3 units. So your total here, take away the extra, 1,200. What are you left with? 660. Okay, thank you. Let's find 1 unit. Okay, divide by 3. 220. Okay, is this our final answer? Remember, 1 unit. You still need to go back to the question and see what they want. The mass of the melon. Okay, so melon is 1 unit plus 450. Yes, you need to add the extra. And 300. Okay, and you found the 1 unit already. So 220, you add up everything here. What are you left with? 970. Okay, thank you. So 970 grams is your answer. Add properly, right? 970. If you didn't get 970, you pressed something wrong. Don't careless, your last step. You almost to the answer already, then you press wrong. Okay, 970. Okay. Once you're done, let's go to question 3. Okay, let's read the question first. Okay, I'll leave it here a bit longer. Side here. You should be done with the model already. It's question 2. Okay, so the average mass of 2 melons, 3 papaya, and a jackfruit is 3 kg, 780 grams. Okay, average. 2 melons, 3 papayas. Oh, jackfruit means 1 jackfruit. Okay, you can put 1 here. It's 3 kg and 780 grams. The melon is 30 grams less than the papaya, and the jackfruit is 450 grams more than the papaya. What is the mass of the melon in kg and grams? Okay, so your model first, right? Melon is 30 grams less than the papaya. Let's start with that. Melon, papaya. Okay, melon is 30 grams less. So the papaya is 30 grams heavier. Okay, what else do we know? The jackfruit is 450 grams more than the papaya. So under the papaya here, jackfruit, 450 more. Okay, so draw the same size as the papaya first, right? And then add on 450 because it is more than that by 450. Okay, so before you go and write out the total here, right, using the average, what must you do first? What do we have here? 1 of each. 1 melon, 3 papayas, and 1 jackfruit. Right, however, if you go back to the question, we have more than that. Right, we have 2 melons, 3 papayas, and 1 jackfruit. So if you go and take the average times the total number of items and put it here, it's wrong already because we only have 1 of each here. Right, so what must we do? We have to stack up the model. Right, so the melons, we have 2 of it, so let's draw in another melon here. Right, 2 melons. 3 papayas. Right, so we need to add on another 2 more because you have 1 here already. We need another 2 more. Okay, so you can draw it here. Okay, jackfruit, you only have 1. Right, and over here, there's a 30 within the jackfruit as well. Okay, so for the papaya, you can also draw and extend out the papaya here, right? You have 2 more. It's up to you, whichever way you can see better. Okay, now we can say that this is the total. So what's your total here? How many items do you have? 3 plus 2 plus 1. You have a total of 6 items. Yes. So take your average, right? You want to find total. Average times quantity. Average is 3 kg 780 grams, which is the same as 3780 grams. So take the average times 6. Okay, 1 kg is 1000 grams. Two two 680. Okay. So now you have to take away the extra so that you'll be left with the units here. Right, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units here. Right, so let's take away the extra. Let's find the extra. 3780 is the average here, it's given. 3 kg, 780 grams. 3 kg is 3000 grams. So you add 3000 to your 780 grams, you can get 3780 grams. Your conversion. Total is average times quantity. So once you have the average, you times the quantity, which is 6 items, you can get the total. Okay, so what's the extra? Yes, correct. 30. How many 30s do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 30 times 4 plus 450. Okay, add it up. Always put in your brackets if you're writing it this way. $570, okay. Okay, there's space here. I'm going to continue up here. Okay, so we want the 6 units here. And we can have it if we take away from the total, the extra. 22680 minus 570. Okay, thank you, Chloe. 22110. Okay, now find 1 unit. Okay, divide by 6. Yep, because you take away the extra, so you're left with this. So you divide by 6. 3685. Okay, can we leave our answer like this? They want kg and grams. So you need to convert, right? They want melon. And melon is 1 unit. Okay, melon is already 1 unit. So in this case, 1 unit is our answer, but we need to convert to kg and grams. Okay, 3 kg, 685 grams. Thank you. Okay, right, then we go to the next one. Okay, so the average price of a set of books was $12. Okay, take note, this time round, they didn't tell us how many books there are. They just told us the average price of a set of books. If one more book, which cost $28, was included into the set of books, right? So the set of books is the unknown, right? We don't know how many there are. Right, if you add that one more book that costs $28, the average price of the books becomes $16. How many books were there at first? Okay, this question, if you're very new to it, it's not very easy. So you listen up. Okay, so initially the O average, right, is $12. Okay, let's draw a model. O average, $12. And if we add one more book in, that costs $28, is 28. Your new average becomes $16 instead, right? It used to be 12, now it's 16. Okay, let me write it out here. Yeah, try it better. Hold on. You want it to be 12. 28, I draw too short. Okay. 16. Okay, so how much more do you need to have the old average become the new average? Over here. Okay, good. 4. Right, I need 4 more. Right, so now this $28 here. Okay, how much is it more than the new average here? 28 minus. Okay, good. 12, right? This 28, it needs to remove 12 away from its price such that it will become the same as the new average here, 16. Okay, so it has 12 here to distribute out to the 12 here to distribute out to the number of books here. Yes, 16 minus 12, that's how we get the 4 here. Okay, and the 12 here is 28 minus 16. You're finding out how much does this new book have to distribute to the number of books in the old average, such that the average will become 16. Okay, so in order to find that out, we need to take this 12 here, right? Each book in the old average can receive 4 each, $4 each. So that will tell us that, yes, divide by 4, correct? So you'll get 3 books. Because this $12, if each of the old average can receive 4, right, it can distribute out to 3 books only. So how many books were there at first? 3. Because this new book is more expensive, right? It's $28, right, compared to your new average here. That means it has $12 that it can distribute out to the books in the old average here, such that all of them will have an average of 16. So if each of them can get $4, right, you divide it by 4, you can get 3 books. Okay. Right, let's go to the next question. Okay, so this is actually a PSLE question that we extracted. A lot of students couldn't get it, so hopefully you'll get it after the explanation. Yeah, last question already. Okay, so a player has to play a total of 4 games in round 1 of a competition. And the scores for Chong's first 3 games are shown below here. Right, Chong will qualify for round 2 if his average for 3 of the 4 games is 25 or more. Right, what is the lowest score Chong must get in the 4th game to qualify for round 2? Okay, so underline all your keywords first. Okay, the lowest score. And we know the average of 3 of the games, right? It has to be 25 or more. Right, so if you want the lowest score, first of all, eliminate the score that is the lowest here. Right, so that's the trick here. What is the lowest score? We take away the lowest one here first. Yes, 21. Right, so we don't look at the 21 here. So we need an average of 3 games. So let's take 23 here, 24, and find out what is this last score that he needs. Right, so the average of these 3 games that we need, right, it has to be 25 or more. So let's find the total of the 3 using the average for 3 of the games. The average of the 3 of the games is given, right? Average of 3. Yes, 25. Okay, good. Thank you. So to find total, remember average times quantity. So in this case, it's the number of games. You have 3. Take note, it's the average for 3 of the 4 games. So you times 3, not 4. You just need 3 of it. Yeah. Okay, so that's the total here. What is the sum of these 23 and 24 here? Which is the total of 2 games. 23 plus 24. 47, okay, thank you. So if the total I need it to be 75 and I already have a score of 47, what is the lowest score that I need here? I need to find the difference between 75 and 47. Yes, 28, thank you. Right, so that's your answer, 28. This is the lowest score that he must get. Right, so if you go and add 23, 21, and 24, right, and divide it by 3 to get an average, you wouldn't have 25 or more, right? So you need another score that is a bit bigger, but still the lowest score, right, that he needs in order to have an average of 75 here. Okay, so we've come to the end of our revision class. Okay, so thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, please contact us, right? We have the contact number on WhatsApp, email, or you can go to our website. Okay, also remember, if you like, you can sign up for our bootcamp. It starts next week, so you can quickly go and sign up. I think we have limited slots left, so if you like, you can go and sign up now. But you can ask us more via our WhatsApp as well if you have more questions regarding our programs.